Greetings and welcome. My name is Aaron Craig with Let's Learn This Together, and today we're doing a update notes, and this one's actually really exciting. There's just a few things that they've done in here that I want to show you that will probably change how you do your work, especially the optional arguments for functions. So first off, there's actually quite a bit inside of here, several things, at least one new video I'm going to touch on, and that's up here about where is that? They now have a way of using your own source control externally. So that means that it no longer has any Git tools when you install GameMaker, which is great because it was terrible before anyway. Like using the built-in source control was horrendous and only resulted in issues. So now you can point at your own installed and configured Git client and use its authentication settings. So that means that you can use it to then use it just like you have for everything else. So I'm going to make a video on how that works and the best way to do it. I've done source control videos for GameMaker in the past. They've been a little difficult to follow. Hopefully this makes it a lot easier. The other thing is the new undo system. So this doesn't sound that exciting, but if you've ever been undoing and redoing inside of GameMaker, you'll know that it's not as intuitive as it should be. So if you made a change somewhere and then you went and went on and opened some other objects or sprites or images or whatever, and then press Control Z a couple of times, like it'll go back and change what you did in that old object, and it can totally screw you up. So now what they've done is it is per asset. So that means that if I'm inside of a script here, I could delete an entire section, and then I could go over to this object, and I could delete this, and then if I click into this object, now if I press Control Z, nothing is going to happen because the entire undo stack is per object or per asset inside of that game. So if I want to come over here and undo this, I have to click in and press Control Z. So that means that all of the undos and redos are going to be on the asset that you have actually made that change on. So now if I go back to my script, Control Z, voila. This is super, super nice. Should have been in here from the very beginning, but definitely glad it is finally here. Then we've also got which they don't even have it down here for some reason. I'm not even sure what's going on here. They added some additional inspectors to the editors, which I'm not too concerned about. There's a lot of bug fixes, but the big one is just up here. You can now declare default values for your function's optional arguments. Okay, this is huge. The way they've done it is also great. It's exactly how I would want them to do it. So imagine we have a new function right up here at the top. Let's call this function add numbers. And let's say you always had to have at least two numbers. So x, we'll do number 1, number 2, and then maybe you wanted to have number 3 in there, but you wanted it to be optional. The way you did it before was you had to actually like check the values or maybe pass in like a -1 or a specific value that then you filtered out inside of your own function. Not great. But now you can create that optional one just like you've done here and then just assign it a value. So let's say the number 3 is always number 3. This is going to work. And when you are looking at the function, it actually has it in brackets, just like it does for, well, all the other functions that GameMaker has inside of here that have optional arguments. So this is tremendous. And you can assign any value you want here. I could assign, a string here or something, and then number 2 down here is going to change to have brackets as well. So this is how you create an optional argument. And to me, this is a huge win because optional arguments have been, they're in other languages forever, because sometimes you want a function to be able to do lots of different things, and sometimes you want it to work one way, and then you want it to work another way depending on what you pass in. Now GameMaker has that built in, so our functions are now essentially first-class functions in the sense they have all the same power and capabilities that the built-in functions have. So this is a huge win, and I will be using this all over the place. I'm very, very excited. And there's other stuff. You can go and take a look at it. But for the most part, that's everything you need to know on what's going on here. Definitely recommend downloading and getting this installed. It says it came out on Friday, but I was using GameMaker all day yesterday, and I just got the notification today. So you might have already gotten this, or you might be getting it in the next couple days as they do a rollout across everywhere. But that's what I've got for you today. Thanks for joining me, and keep making, keep learning, and I'll talk to you later.